Here we go. We move on to our third inductee. Speaking of our third inductee, John Smith is only the third baseball umpire to be inducted into the Hall of Fame following Hide Yamashita and Arnold Soma in 2018 and 21 respectively. Let's all meet Mr. John Smith.
The baseball bloodline of umpire John Smith runs deep. After achieving success as a player, which included a Louisiana high school state championship, Smith moved to Hawaii in 1966, where his two sons and former base bows, Gene and David, began T-ball in the Pololo Little League. A year later, he donned the blue uniform and kick-started his officiating career.
I think Mr. Smith took his job as an umpire very seriously. I think he studied it. He knew the rules. He knew his strike zone. He made the calls the way he saw it. And so I think he was very honest about it. If he made a mistake, he'd admit it. So I thought that was something that new umpires could probably learn from.
He was a good guy. He's a real fair guy, a nice man. And you know what? Believe it or not, he was a really good umpire. Because back then, people don't realize umpiring was a little bit tougher, how to handle teams compared to what they do today, because there was a lot of bench jockeying going around, so they had to kind of like control the game.
His level of officiating and integrity towards the game earned him much success in Pololo, and soon after would umpire in the ILHNOIA in 1973. His calming presence on the field conveyed a message to players, coaches, and fans that the game was in good hands, hard-working hands, that he used as he began umpiring University of Hawaii games in 1975.
On the field, very professional. I was wondering if I should say this, but sometimes there's this thing like whether the home team gets an edge. No. He made that real clear to us that, not me, but we'll talk about it and just say, no, I'm got to be professional, that kind of thing.
He umpired our games. And so sometimes, if we disagreed with his calls, he was always willing to discuss it after the game. So I respected that. He explained his part, and so we're fine with that.
I don't think I ever saw him throw somebody out of a game. I think he was able to, diffuse the situation professionally. Now, just an all-around really good umpire and an all-around good guy.
Mr. Smith would spend the next decade working collegiate games, honing his craft and building upon a reputation that earned him great respect. His demeanor never changed off the field, a man motivated by a game that's given him so much and a love for his family that was unmistakable.
He was always friendly. He just liked to talk about baseball. He was proud of his sons. So that's the first thing that comes to me anyway.
I see some of that where these guys are kind of like down to earth. They're easygoing. They don't play that high maka trip on you, just really easygoing guys, and that's how Mr. Smith, and even the mom was like that too, really nice lady. So, like anything else, there's the other side where, she kind of helped keep the balance too, besides Mr. Smith.
He would joke, but not like no profanity and, that kind of thing. It's just, he just was a really good man. He's a good man. And you could tell, we found out when we played in Texas that people from Louisiana knew him. And that's, I guess, where he's from. And that's when you think the kind of like maybe the stock or the culture that he came from, that just good old boys.
From a Padres exhibition game at Aloha Stadium to a signer for 5 different organizations, Mr. Smith's rapid ascent in Hawaii officiating has made him among the best the state's ever seen. In 1988, he decided to step away from calling balls and strikes to spend more time with his family, the very reason many say fueled his passion for baseball.
There's a lot, because back then, we were very close to the families. And, so you cannot say Mr. Smith without saying Mrs. Smith. They're like joined at the hip. And there'd be either those bleachers in the cold weather supporting both sons, but still strong family.
Do you not have his sons umpired?
No, I don't think. I wouldn't trust them.
I think this is a great honor for Mr. Smith and the whole Smith family. It's something that I think, and it's too bad he and his wife aren't here, Mrs. Smith, because I think they would have been so proud of accepting this award, and to have Gene and David come in, and I think that would be an outstanding award for them, for the whole family. I think it's well deserved.
From Pololo to his rightful place in the Hall, Congratulations to 2023 Hawaii Sports Officials Hall of Fame inductee, John Smith.
Mr. John Smith are his two sons, Gene and David. Let's welcome our next inductee into the Hawaii Sports Officials Hall of Fame, class of 2023, Mr. John Smith.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you. I would like to start off by thanking the Hall of Fame Board of Directors and the Selection Committee. Like some of my old teammates, friends and teammates said, this is such an honor. You know, my dad worked hard, and you know, he would be very honored to be here. I'm sure he's looking down now. He's a big smile on his face. You know, this all started, I think about 2 or 3 years ago. My brother happened to see the website of the Hawaii Officials Hall of Fame, and he said, hey, why don't we nominate our dad? You know, so we wrote up something, sent it in. We got a little feedback from Cal, I think it was, and we heard that, you know, thank you, but he didn't make it. So we just thought, well, you know, that's it. You know, he had a good run, and we'll look forward to see who the next inductees are. And next thing you know, about a few months ago, we hear that we need to make a trip out to Hawaii to, you know, honor him for this. So we're very honored for this. You know, we got our start. He loved the game of baseball, and he passed that on to us, both as teaching us how to play. And as we played, he started coaching, sometimes for our team, sometimes different teams. Right up in Palolo, wherever that is, you know, we started up there at T-ball, majors, minors, the whole thing. And as we kept going on, you know, to seniors and Babe Ruth and JV baseball, he would continue his coaching career as well. So obviously he was a dedicated father. He would try and come to all of our games. And the games that he couldn't come to, like a lot of times David and I would be playing same time, different parts of the island. One parent would go here, one parent would go there. But he would work his umpiring career around those games. And it was easy when we were growing up. There's a lot of JV games, a lot of high school games. And you know, he just kept moving on, moving up, enjoying the game. And then we both were fortunate enough, we played high school, and then we got to play for UH, Rainbow. Some of my teammates are here. And, you know, at that point, when he was umpiring UH2, I mean, that's the only game in town, right? He can't umpire somewhere else. If he's umpiring a game, we're there too. So he tried not to, we were both pitchers, my brother and I. So he tried not to be behind the plate when we were throwing, just to, you know, he didn't want to have it appear that anything was, it would make us all uncomfortable, he thought. So it was easy for David. David was a starting pitcher. He knew when David was going to pitch, so sometimes he'd be on the bases, but you know, it's not like being behind the plate. So here I come. I'm a relief pitcher, so you don't know when you're going to be in. Huh? So the first time he umpired a game of mine, we were playing a small school, I think UCLA. I come in 8th or 9th inning, the end of the game. So my dad, he's like, here he comes. You know, he has to come out, get his scorecard, so he's writing down the player changes. I'm warming up, so I can kind of hear a little bit on the side. The UCLA coach comes out. Hey, who's this new player? He's like, Smith. Write it down, and you know, he's trying to keep everything good. Anyway, we come in. I start pitching, And, you know, he did fine. I was confident. I knew he was a good umpire all the way around. And, well, the funny thing is, so after that first time, the next night we having dinner at home, and, you know, I got to bring something up. It's like, yeah, I think that slider on the outside corner, that probably caught the black, you know. And he's explaining, you know, nope, my strike zone is this. And, you know, I can't argue at the dinner table. I don't want to get kicked out of that thing, so. Anyway, he was, you know, and he was such a good umpire. I think it was mentioned by somebody in the interviews. He was very solid, balls and strikes, safe and out, you know, fair and foul. But he knew as a player when he played, and then watching us, you know, the game is about people. It's about athletes, and there's teams, and there's, you know, it changes back and forth, and there's the black and white calls, but still you have to take control of the game. You know, there's both sides. Every time you make a call, half the side's gonna think you're a great umpire, half the side think you're a bum. So, you know, he knew that was part of the game, and he just, you know, for us it was just nice to see him out there playing, and all I can say is we're just really appreciative of the honor this is, and I think that's all I got to say. Thank you very much, everyone.